Hey everybody, welcome to the nightly vid. We're starting here off with just some updates to our algorithmic trading that we're working on. And you'll see here, this was a back test using the NASDAQ 100 as our bucket of stocks. And this was over the course of 4 years. So over 4 years, this was able to produce just under a 300% return, which is just absolutely crazy. But just showing you guys this because it's something we're going to be releasing to the public very soon. The one issue that we're working on is just there is a lot of trades since it's algorithmic trading. There can be 30 trades instantly at the same time. So we're working on a way to fix that just so it's easier for people to execute before we, launch a hedge fund or something along those lines, which is coming in the future. So really, really excited, but let's get to the nightly vid. So the first thing is we got AMD earnings tomorrow. So this is going to be super important. I'm personally pretty long in AMD going into these earnings. We had this very beautiful RevStrat day that we traded in here, which was an amazing run. But this will also likely affect NVIDIA. So we'll be watching those guys come Wednesday morning. We'll see tomorrow what they're trying to do before earnings as far as positioning. That being said, I think AMD is going to have a positive report. And just looking at the quarter, if we look up and left, on earnings, where we expect it? Well, ideally 187.28, but if earnings are good, easily, it could just gap in all-time highs. I would not be, overly surprised if we do see something like that. But we will see. Nonetheless, earnings is extremely risky, so do so at your own risk. Don't risk more than you're willing to lose. Shares are always better on earnings, especially on stuff like this, where, if AMD does have a bad quarter, which is unlikely, you can just hold the shares, right? And it'll come back. But that being said, let's hit the indexes. So today, this is something pretty cool. You'll see the whole market reversed. And this is a good example of with the algorithmic trading. We had 30 long signals that broke instantly at the open for a buy. And all of those long signals were up, about 1%, give or take, today. So you can see the reversal on SPY, reversal on Qs, and notice these are kicking patterns. What do we know about kicking patterns? Well, if you have a kicking pattern with no gap, you can trigger right at yesterday's highs or lows. So in this case, today, you'll see was a bullish kicker in force above the high of the kicking bar. In force tells us that is our entry signal. And as far as examples are concerned, right, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like. Big down move right here, boom, long, up they go. So if we go take a look, right, we know what this does. So pretty cool stuff. See the Dow Jones as well today, right? Nice kicking pattern, nice broadening formation in here, kicking in. So the question then becomes, since they bought it Monday, do they come back Tuesday to buy more, or do they kind of hold off with earnings and stuff coming out? So that is that, right? Most things did reverse today, but we'll take a look and see what we have. So we'll go to setups. We're going to go to inside bars to confirm or negate that move. We can go to the biggest names, and we'll take a look at those for our nightly vid. We're going to keep it kind of light tonight, but you'll see Netflix inside day. We draw right to left. We do have this nice big daily broadening formation like so. If it were to go up, weekly pivot machine gun to the upside. So that's something we'd want to know about. And what I'll add in here for the gist, we'll talk about at the end, but uranium, it's okay, SMH. All right. Netflix could cause PMG weak to the upside. Let's see. Now. So now you'll see inside day, big puke last month, 3-2 month down. So if they are going to get outside of this big range we're stuck in the middle of, you'd want to see it stay down. However, you'll see we're coming in right at the bottom of our daily triangle. So question becomes, momentum, measured move down, or are they able to bring it back, right? Earnings didn't look too bad. Maybe they guided down. However, this would be a good signal to time the bottom if they are bringing it back. And notice on the month, that outside month is a broadening formation. So you always want to know when you have a higher time frame 3. Cyber's mother bar problems. However, you do have some volatility in here that is present, so maybe they get moving. I'm going to keep it off. I try to shy away from that stuff. MicroStrategy. Big old inside day. Did take last month's lows. This could be more of like your Bitcoin stuff, which did pop up today, but you'll see inside week Bitcoin and inside month. So this is stuff we're just going to shy away from to start it off. Visa. Inside day after earnings. It is inside month down 312. MasterCard. A little bit more firm. I only like trading those when they all line up the same. So I'll just shy away. ADP after earnings. Inside day. It is mother bar. Humana. Inside week. CRM. So CRM inside day, this one's, you can see it's been moving around. I'm not sure if it's outside month. Yeah, so it is outside month, so you got a triangle in here. And with the new AI stuff, this is just my opinion, but with the new AI stuff, CRM may become more obsolete. It's going to be harder for them to get customers unless they start customizing their things with AI. We'll say high ATR inside day, see what they want to do. Hilton. With MAR. All right, cool. Let's see. LBS. Not so much. MGM. So MGM, Hilton, MAR. Potential simultaneous break. All right. T-Mobile has an inside day to break a week. However, it'd be continuation on the week, which normally is not what I'm interested in, but I am interested in Verizon, and we haven't gotten into the 2 down in green yet. VZ, potential daily into week into PMG. So you can see Verizon, the 2-2 day, could cause an inside week reversal. Weekly PMG would cause a rev strat. You see in 2 months inside, 2 down, and then 2 up. I really like this one. Good for the small account guys with Verizon, because if it moves, it does move big. Tells you AT&T as well, which is a little bit more stuck, so you might have less evidence there. W day. See another one, slight lower lows inside day. It is inside week, but it is 2 down month, so maybe they got earnings coming up. I'll shy away. I don't know much about it. HON, inside day at the bottom of the broad information, plus daily PMG. They've already had their earnings, so their earnings were good. All right, COF financials. Does take last month's lows, however. Got the daily broad information in here, like so. Already had their earnings, and they had a pretty, wow, it's a pretty significant surprise there. Inside day reversal at the bottom could cause a 3-2-2 week, so I do like that. Is in financials, XLF, so we'll just take a quick looky. You'll see financials much like the rest. Industrials, right? 2-2 day on a Monday. Snow. This is in your technologies. You'll see big broad information plus inside day. They do have earnings coming up, so you just want to be aware of that. But these big broad informations like this, we like to see it. LEU, that's like your uranium / coal / energies. All right, 2 down in green. I think LEU is on the inside day list. Yeah, LEU inside day. Notice, so we want to line this all up together, right? Lower lows, inside day hammer, actionable signal, plus pivot machine gun. So you line that all up together. If it does break and a buyer does show up, you got people to stop out. So that is something we look for sure. And we'll say uranium, name. You're already going up for more evidence. Alrighty. Apple. Apple's rev strat month down 3-1 day, so this will be on the bearish side of things. Let's see, Lululemon. Wrecked. You see a slight high, bad earnings, they're just down they go. So inside day Lulu, and if you recall, this is when we talked about way up in here. In this inside month form, so lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, now expansion to the downside. This is where things they start cratering, right? And personally, me and all my friends, we don't buy Lulu anymore very often. So definitely an interesting name that we could have on the list. I'll hold it off for now. ANW. GoDaddy. So there's definitely, you're seeing some rotation out of some of the big tech stocks that we saw, over the past probably like 3 to 4 quarters coming back, but it's not all of them. Billow's got earnings coming up, so when JCI Industrials, nope. ILMN after earnings, you can see the gap down buys potentially kicking in there. Looks like this triangle layout inside day. You'd like the long green bars in here, so we'll see what they want to do. UPS, big puke on earnings, maybe a measured move. They want to keep dropping them. FedEx, doing similar. We're starting to get a little bit down into the weeds here. Skechers, Hims, that type of stuff. Hims, you'll see at the top of the range. Maybe becomes a 2-2 week. However, they're pretty strong, so more than likely it'll be triangle layout, and we're kind of getting to the last of it. So not too much else to really talk about here. Some of the small capper names, but we'll leave that to the small capper guys. I'm good. That being said, let's take a look at the 2 down in green. Got about 39 names, 2 down in green. Let's see 2 up today. We had 849. So out of the 1,200 names, 850 names are going up today. 200 inside days. So all those will be important tomorrow. But we'll take a look at the 2 down in green. I really like DE in here. This is one did mention into the Discord. See the lower lows over here, slight higher highs. Then internal triangle. Go to 60 minutes, give you more clear. Boom, boom. So if industrials are gunning right above that, 5, 12, 11, we like it. Broadening formation there. Let's see, American Tower and the real estate's meh. UHL's healthcare's could trigger a weekly reversal after earnings. See the big broadening formation in here on the week. A lot of these things are 2 down in green just don't look very strong. Try and filter by stronger stuff to see if that'll help. Two times long MicroStrategy ETF. That's interesting. RVMD. If I just looked at this chart, I'd say these earnings are going to be good and they're going to go flying, but we'll have to see what they talk about. There's not really many on the 2 down and green, and what that tells me, is there's not a lot of 2-2 reversals they're trying to set up, which is okay. There's SM, which energy company. I think that's in the uraniums. That's really about it. A lot of this stuff is like just barely green. We will have Verizon on there. So we'll leave it at that. Now look at 2 up. Oops. 2 up in red. Or shooter. About 66 names shown up there. And what I'm going to do with this is I want stuff below the quarter open ideally, but I'm just thinking now it's the second day of the new month. So we'll hold off for those scans. Just take a look the slow way. Got a lot of technology stocks shown up on this list. Spotify. I really like the reclaims of mother bars like this. So if we do have a bearish day tomorrow, or, giving some back, it's definitely of interest. And if you wonder, you're like, how do you just rip through these charts super fast, Alex? What are you doing? I'm just looking for stuff like this. I want to be at new highs or new lows. I like to time it properly. So like if you go to LHX, right, you'll see inside week up, 322 on a Tuesday. That'd bring you all the way back through here for the rev strat. So we prefer things like that. In this case, maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. It's beginning of the month, so you don't have as much evidence. Either way, you can't see this one's been going up. So less likely for that to work out, but we'll see. If we're gonna see STX, see similarly, right? If we're gonna be shorting stuff, we want things that look like this, the rev strat day. However, I want stuff to take last week's lows. In this case, maybe it's a 3-3-3 on the week, right? So we'll see. Got a lot of technology shown up here. We also like things like SFM, right? Big magnitudes. So 6% magnitude after earnings. It does look like they're decently positive. However, they're still inside month. So that's something we have to be aware of. You see the broad information in here. It's a good little setup in there. I'm not sure what they do. QCOM. You'll see another rev strat name in here. So if you're going to short stuff, you want the weaker things. Like this rev strat day QCOM would take 3-2 down week, pivot machine gun to the downside. Pretty interesting. Maybe you could hedge AMD longs with QCOM shorts. I'm probably going to be doing that myself. Let's see. VRT. Yeah. ALGN. So you can see on earnings, pretty bad earnings. Now you get the rev strat after earnings, right? So you have decent magnitudes in there. So a few things to focus on. Let's see. Target. See target. Shooter day could trigger the rev strat month down, causing daily broadening expansion back through a previous range. And last earnings, they got kind of wrecked in here, so we do like that as well. And that does remind me, I don't want to take this too long, but on the monthly vid, I just want to take a look at some of these names. It's like transports, they did start going up at this point. IP, so you see stuff like IP RevStrat month, 2 going 3/4. Still an inside year, but 2-2 day to trigger the RevStrat month to the downside, PMG. CF is RevStratting the month to the upside, gold. Still inside month gold, although it's hammer week to start the week. So we, to start the month, we got a lot of dojis, a lot of 2s going 3. So you can see like Disney. Oh, 2 up in red month, but then 2-2 on a Monday, back into this daily triangle, countering that. Walmart goes inside month up to try and trigger the quarter. So we'll have that on the continuation list. And you know what? What am I doing? We have this whole entire... All right, I've been kind of brain dead here, but let's just have ChatGPT do this for us. That was fast, beautiful. We have this whole software and I'm not even deciding to use it. So really, and this is something I'll add into the video here tonight. When I'm doing these videos, I'm really only doing it for you guys, because what I would normally do is just kind of hop on here, look at the list, copy paste it, and just be like, all right, and not even look at the charts. But in this case, right, we'll take a look here at the month. So 2 up in the month, CME, Walmart, see what they're doing. So see Walmart or CME starts as inside month up. Nice. Walmart starts as inside month up. Nice. Then 2 down on the month and change greater than or equal to 0, less than 0. See who's leading the downside here. LYB. You see LYB on the new month. Wrecked on their earnings. To start the month from the list, CRCL does have earnings coming out, so we'll wait on that. Hilton, right? So you can see a lot of these names, and this is what's important when we go to this. Right, we go to COF. How much evidence do you have of a short? Well, you have a shorter month, right? However, we just opened the new month. We're not below it anymore. So if it's going to be a short, you'll get the 1-2-2 RevStrat day and you'll send them back to the lows. If it's not, this inside day will negate, and they'll start bringing them back through. So when the month's new start to open, what we just look for is our RevStrats, our 2-2 reversals, and our inside days, and we wait for those, because, if you miss this on LYB, that's fine, right? And there's ways to get that, right? You're just looking at the list. It's one of the 2 names taking last month's lows. So if you're going to be, or actually not 2 names, my bad. But if you're going to be going after the short side of things, if you miss Friday, the first day of the month, then you wait for what we look for to confirm the month. So you'll see when they gap up this morning on Monday, 3, 1, 2 short, boom, you're in. And if it doesn't come back, you're in all month. You're good. And if you're just doing the day trade, here's your target. You're good. So you don't have to be the first one in. Very important. But that being said, if you're skipping to the end here, this is the summary. So we got some of the things to continue. ER with AMD tomorrow night. Very important. And we did not talk about these guys yet. We will shortly. But here's your inside days. 2 down in green, 2 up in red. This is your list right here. And just to end it off here, BBAI, this is one we talked about in the Discord. We were either looking to reclaim this low or this low, and they reclaimed this one. So they're bringing them back in. NVTS, this is one that's partnered with NVIDIA. Looks like they had earnings, tonight, and nothing really changed. They're just kind of flat. So I'm not sure how that reaction went. Guess we'll take a look. Yeah, so they had some bad earnings reaction, but this is still, they're partnered with NVIDIA, so we'll see what they want to do with that one. BBAI, nothing. And then ANET. This is going to be another one. We gave the Discord members the 322 quarter, looking for these all-time highs, and we alerted it somewhere around in here. It went 2-2 on Monday, and it does have earnings coming up this week, Tuesday night. So we'll be aware. We got some names with earnings tomorrow night. We will add ANET in there as one that has earnings, and I think that covers it. So that is all, everybody. I will leave it to you guys tonight, and we'll see you guys bright and early in the morning. And if you're not in stat, go and check us out, stratalerts.ai. Adios.